In this video, a secondary mathematics teacher takes her class outside for a geometry lesson. It shows that if students are physically engaged in mathematics and are given the opportunity to talk about their ideas, their learning will be deeper.
All right, class, today we are going to do a very interesting activity which will help us find out a few facts about geometry. We have some wooden sticks here of some fixed lengths which are covered in colored paper, and we are going to make use of these sticks to perform the activity. So maybe we can have 5 students. So can I have Kritika, Ritvik can come, any one more girl maybe, yes you can come, 2 more. Sachin, you can be here, and yes, you come here. Rest of you can go right up here, you can stand there. What we are going to do actually here is we are going to enact some mathematics, specifically geometry here. Let's just say Ritvik is here, just stand somewhere here in the middle, right? You will please hold these 2 sticks, right? And the 2 girls, please come here. Yeah. One of you hold the other end of the stick, just be at that end. You will please try keeping this as close as possible to your body. Keep the sticks close to your body, right? You 2 are going to be kind of helping them with tracing their path. I am going to give you some colored chalks here. Here, you just go stand with Kritika, and once she starts moving, I want you to trace the path, right? Just hold it like this, Kritika and Apurva, and you hold it. Ritvik, if you could please sit down below here and hold it right above your head, right? And try not moving at all, just holding it in such a way that your position doesn't move. What is the shape, first of all, class, that you observe here making use of these sticks here? Triangle. Triangle. And the sticks are enacting sides of the triangle. Can we name some geometrical names for these 3 students who are holding the sticks? Vertices. Vertices. Let's just name Ritvik, vertex A, Kritika becomes B. Vertex B, and Apurva becomes vertex C, right? So let's just try moving clockwise. Yes, keep on moving. Boys, you will have to move along with them. If you would need some more chalks, I have some right here. Yeah. So class, we have just traced the path that these girls followed. The path looks a little, imperfect, but it still will give us an idea what figure are we talking of. What is the figure that we have obtained? Circle. And with respect to the circle, can we rename the parts that these 3 students are playing? So can I name Ritvik in any other way now? Center. Center of what? Center of a circle. Kritika? Radius. Kritika is the radius.
A point on the circle.
Is a point on the circle. And how about Apurva? She's also playing a point on the circle. And how about the sticks? Are all the 3 sticks playing the same part? No. All right. So what about the orange one? What do you think? Radius. Orange one plays the radius of the circle. How about the blue one? Chord. And pink? Radius again. If I want to observe something more about these 2 parts, one being pink and another being blue, what are your observations out of this?
Ma'am, they are congruent.
Ma'am, the length of the radius are same if we both the circles are overlapping each other, and any point on the circle has the same radius with the center.
Okay. The figures are?
Triangle and a circle.
But the path is?
Circular.
Circle.
They are made of some same radius.
Ma'am, they have a common chord.
They form an isosceles triangle with a chord.
Yes. Since these 2 circles are congruent, they have the common center, they have equal radii. So obviously They are overlapping each other, as you said a while ago. So let's just consider them as one circle for a while now. Now considering the one circle that we have obtained here and the figure made by the sticks, see what are the other observations that you have about the figure. Think about it. Yes, Kushal?
Ma'am, it looks more like an oval than a circular path.
It's looking more like an oval. Well, I think that is because of a few imperfections that we had while drawing. Yes, Kritika, what is your observation about it?
Ma'am, the base angles are equal here.
The base angles are equal.
Equal arcs form equal angle at the center.
Very good. Do you all make that observation? And what makes us think so?
Ma'am, because the both radii are same, and when the arc is same, that all the triangles will be congruent to each other.
Yes, because we have wherever the entire set of sticks move, they are forming the same triangle. Now that we have observed something very interesting here, I am going to be dividing you into 4 groups in all. So roll number 1 to 12, group 1. Roll number 13 to 24, group 2. Roll number 25 to 36, group 3. And roll number 37 to the last roll number in group 4, right? And you will perform the activity using the rest of the sticks if you want. Redo this activity again in your groups and try to think hard. What can possibly change in whatever equipment that you have, and what effect would it have on the observations that you would have. So we will begin with the activity.
Ayush.
Moving center.
Center.
B. Vasudha, points on the circle.
Done.
And what else? Angle. The base angles were equal and that angle.
Let's take a chord of a circle. Okay. Make it. Now we take that this chord is equal to this chord. Okay. So when the chords are equal, now these angles will be equal. So this is how we can prove that equal chords subtend equal angles at the center.
How have to prove that these two chords are equal?
Which chords?
This chord and that one.
Okay, now we have to prove that these two chords are equal. Okay, then we take just the reverse way. We take just the converse of this.
I was myself surprised with the kind of observations my students made. I was expecting them to make much fewer observations, but it was quite revealing, you know, that they could start thinking in terms of so many variations, and they could, you know, before I could blink an eye, they were ready with so many statements of their own. All right, groups, let's just see what you have to share with me and with the rest of the groups. All right?
If we change the size, length of the chord, the radius will decrease or increase according to the chord.
We constructed 2 diameters of the circle.
Okay.
And angles formed between the diameters will be equal to twice the base angles of the isosceles triangle that we have formed.
We have a very interesting observation, ma'am, that is angle subtended by 2 radius from 2 points of the center is double the angle subtended by any chords at any point of the circle from the 2 same points.
But how did you come up with that? I mean, when you're saying double the angle, you did not have any measuring instruments to know what the measures of the angles were specifically. So how did you come up with that kind of a result?
Ma'am, we proved it by using the exterior angle property of the triangle. Ma'am, that the opposite angles are equal to the, their sum is equal to the exterior angle.
Wonderful. So that's applying triangle geometry to circle geometry here. Brilliant. We'll go back to the class right now, and we will discuss a little more about the circles in the next session when we meet.
I learned many theorems of circles, like one which if we draw a perpendicular from the center, it bisects the chord, and many such theorems which we actually, when we did it in a theoretical way, we never did understood very easily.
Okay class, we just performed an activity outside a little while ago. We will all work in pairs. Take out your exercise books, and here is a statement that is equal chords subtend equal angles at the center. I want you all to draw at least a figure per group, per pair, illustrating the statement that we are talking about here.
Radius is equal. This angle will equal to this. I think so. The SSS, right?
We can,
Join them?
Yes, we can join them. Can you do the next one? Yes, we can just join them. I mean them AB and CD.
AB, C, and D, and this will make.
Oh, yes. So we have let's say two triangles, triangle AOAB
And triangle OCD.
OCD.
Yeah.
Concurrent part of concurrent triangle.
The
We can
CPCT, these two angles are.
yes.
All right class, I've just taken around and I've seen that most of you have actually illustrated the statement beautifully, and it seems that the concept has really understood well by all of you. Let's just say if you were to help another student, maybe a younger brother or a sister or a friend, with some mathematical statement that that particular student is stuck up with or cannot comprehend or cannot simplify it or understand it. What are the possible suggestions you would like to offer to that younger student so that that particular student will be able to make sense of that statement? Now, please understand, you will not be the teacher to the student. You will not be telling the meaning of that statement to the student. You only have to suggest a few things to be done by that student himself or herself to start making sense of something that they come across in their text and cannot make sense of it in first go. So, I want you again to start thinking and talking about it in pairs, and then we will come up with whatever best suggestions we can come up with. All right?
It will be an interactive learning. What can we do next? We can also use mathematical instruments to draw the figure neatly.
If you will see, that this figure will overlap with it. So it means that these angles are also equal.
Now that you have discussed in pairs, let's just share with the class what are the possible suggestions that we have.
Ma'am, I will say that he should always prefer first the activity method, ma'am, because when he does any question by activity method, he gets curious to know the result, and even if he is not getting the answer in one time, he can do it again because he is so curious and ambitious to know the result. Ma'am, we can tell the student to read the statement and draw a figure step by step.
Ma'am, even I would suggest Sachin to use the activity method to make him understand better. For example, like we have to explain the a plus b whole square identity to him, then we could probably use the activity method to explain to him better. Like we could tell him to make a square and then mark a square, b square and ab in it. And then we would help him in adding up and making him understand that identity.
Converting a statement into a figure will always be helpful. Any material that you have readily available, if you just have a paper, pen, pencil with you and your geometrical instruments, I am sure you can play around with it a lot to make so much more sense of the mathematical statements, expressions, and learn so much better.
Engaging physically with mathematics helps students to think actively and supports memorization without cramming. Students become creators of mathematics when they are given interesting problems and the opportunity to talk and ask each other questions.